All right, welcome to episode 21 of the Off Word Podcast.
21
episodes, 21 things. So it's official. Brando is the fourth member of the podcast.
Yes, sir.
Asking us, to get him on. So, hey, he's here for good. Let's do this.
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
How was your weekend? How was y'all's weekend, man?
Dope, man.
Yeah.
It was good, man.
It was really good.
We had an arts and crafts night, bro. Me and my girl. You see this behind me, dog?
Oh, she did that? Y'all did that?
We both painted it together, dog. It was tough.
I heard she sold something on eBay.
So she
tell people that's the Basquiat. Tell people that's the Basquiat.
She posted it on eBay to see what would happen. Dog, we got 4 offers. The highest offer was $220 for this.
Oh
yeah, that's a come up right
there.
I might
have to start getting in my art bag.
No, it's just crazy. I did not think we would get any offers for that joint, dog.
Swinging me some paint.
That joint is fun. Y'all should do that joint. We went to the store, bought the canvas with the paint, and then just let the artistic juices flow, dog.
It looks good.
Dog, don't ever say artistic juices to me again, fam. Don't ever tell me that again.
You just gotta let it flow, dog.
What about you, Jay Green?
I was chilling, man. It was a lovely weekend, man. I got some time to rejuvenate, catch up on some sleep, some shows and whatnot. So it was lovely, bro. Can't complain.
What about you, Brando? What was your weekend about, dog? You get a new chair? Hopefully you guys got a new chair this weekend, dog.
Hey. I'm sitting on the ottoman right now, so that's very sturdy. I made sure that I cannot fall down. They set me up for failure last time, but I'm back. I'm back better than ever, But this weekend, it was pretty chill weekend. I actually stayed in the house all weekend, to be honest with you. Just stayed in the house. NBA came back, so I caught a couple games. Oops, my bad. Apologize. But yeah, I caught a couple games. And just kind of hung out, chill, not much. Sometimes I just want to take a break from the world. That's all, and just don't do nothing. Yeah.
Very fair. Very fair.
My weekend was good. I went to Uncle Terry's house, bro, and I was showing my little cousin Xavier the podcast episodes, dog. He said, "Time out, dog." He said that BJ looks like Stephen A. Smith, dog. I started dying. I'm like, dog. BJ definitely looks nothing like Stephen A. Smith, dog. But that was cool. I met my girl's parents for the first time. I was nervous, bro. I was nervous. I was the most nervous I've ever been.
How did it go?
It went
How'd
good,
you do?
They You said what?
I said, did you have a good showing? Did you carry yourself well?
Yeah, I met up with her cousins the night before, and they was just telling me the best thing to do is be yourself and bring an appetite because part of the culture. They like to feed their guests, and they were really hospitable. It was natural. It felt like I've been knowing them for a while, so I'm doing a lot of that worked out well.
Good. That's a big milestone in a relationship, actually.
Facts. Super facts. Super.
That means that adds a little more seriousness to things. Just one more step. It's another step you guys took.
That's what she told me. She said, so before you meet my parents, are you sure this is what you want to do? Are you sure? Be serious. I'm
she don't want to introduce you. Then you gone in a couple months, and everybody looking at her like she crazy.
Yeah, that's a topic we're gonna get into later, as far as red flags and what to look for in relationships, what to not look for. So, but this weekend I'll be remiss if I didn't, say, all right, rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman, Clifford Robinson. I'm a Blazers fan, so Cliff Robinson, John Thompson,
Blue Ocean.
So rest in peace to them. It was a 2020 has been crazy, man. I didn't even know that. No one knew that Chadwick was battling cancer.
Yeah. I had briefly mentioned, I think before to Drew that in the Five Bloods movie that he looked, relatively skinny. But obviously we all thought it was probably a part of the role or whatever the case. So
yeah,
I don't know, man. But definitely rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman, man. We gone too soon. Definitely an icon. Definitely did, some great movies as far as, Black Panther, Jackie Robinson movie, Bobby Brown, The Express. He was in that, but he wasn't, the main character. But like I said, he played a lot of pivotal roles in the Black community. So
James Brown too. James Brown.
Absolutely.
I felt like he was that next crop of like black actors that were about to like take like, cause like, you know, Denzel, like he's getting old, like Will Smith's getting old, like Morgan Freeman been old for like 50 years. Like I feel like, dog, I don't know how that nigga's still alive, no cap, but
come on.
Dog, I swear he's been 90 for like since 2000.
Hey, hold on, ladies and gentlemen, Drew Pearson.
That's fine, bro. I'm saying what everybody's thinking, dog. Everyone knows this nigga's been old forever. Like he's never been young. He's always old. But like, you know, a lot of those actors are getting old. So like we got that new crop of like black actors, like Chadwick was in it. You got Michael B. Jordan.
John David Washington.
Yeah, John David Washington. What's the dude from Moonlight?
Damn,
what's his name?
Talking about?
Y'all know.
Mahershala Ali, Allah or something.
Mahershala Ali, yeah.
Allah.
Him, like, so I felt like there was that like crop of black actors that were up and like not up and coming because they're all stars in their own right, but like they were about to, you know, take over.
The next legends.
Yeah, exactly, the next legends. So like the fact that he had cancer, I believe colon cancer for like the last 4 years, and like nobody knew. Like he was filming all these movies, still dealing with that. Like it just goes to show, like, you don't know what people are really dealing with, you know?
Yeah, and that goes to speak to, like, our culture and society. Like, we play around a lot, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't take a lot of things serious. Like, a lot of people saw him losing weight, and obviously they started to think that he was using drugs. You know, he got in Hollywood. You know, Hollywood is taking over him, you know, and it's just like the man was battling a disease. And I don't know if it's true or not, but I saw at some point, like, he turned off, like, comments, like, via his Instagram page and everything like that because people were making fun of him or whatever. So, I mean, definitely, you definitely don't know the things that people are battling behind closed doors. So, always be kind.
And black men, we have to, you know, go to the doctors more and get checked up on. You know, prostate cancer is you know, running rampant in the black community, black men. Colon cancer is another one thing. So if you have like hereditary factors, I know my grandfather had colon cancer and prostate cancer. My great grandfather had prostate cancer. So if you had that in your family lineage, you have to get tested early. So they said like the first test you should take for like your colonoscopy is like 50 years old. However, if you have it in your family, you got to take it 10 years earlier than that. Just be proactive, you know, like, so even me, I had a prostate exam because it runs my family. So I had to get a little earlier now that I'm in my 30s. So, you know, at first, like, I don't want to do that. I don't want nobody touching me down there in my booty, da-da-da-da. But at the end of the day, that could save your life. And it's not even about that. Like, so don't be ashamed. I know there's like a lot of, you know, distrust within the black men and doctors, especially the older generations. So, you know, it's just key to get your wellness checks and, you know, try to live as long as possible and, you know, eating good and things of that nature. So,
something you said in there brought something to my mind. We need more black doctors too. So especially to people that's young, we need more black doctors. I've been reading like some stats, especially when it comes to our black women, our black sisters. And I read a scary stat the other day. Don't quote me on it because I kind of forgot the exact numbers. But in a nutshell, what is happening is that black women are losing babies at birth at a much higher rate than the majority race, to say the least. And a lot of that is because they are cared for differently. It's not because of health or anything like that. It's just that they're cared for differently. They get neglected more. And I've seen footage of things like that. So yeah, we definitely need to have more of us in the in the medical field. Not saying and salute to the ones that already are.
Facts. Jorel, don't be sad, dog. So we'll change pace. We got a new drop. Listen to the new drop. Hold on, listen to the new drop. Y'all ready for the new drop?
I need that off work pie, cuz. I need that off work pie. When it's dropping, cuz.
That's the new drop, all right? So let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's put it in.
They gonna think we Crips out here now.
Hey, no, your name is Red Brandana on the gram, so we'll be all right. We'll be all right.
They're gonna think I'm just switching gangs now, but I don't have no affiliations with the gang life.
So, Joe Budden. Joe Budden's probably the most popular podcast within the hip hop community, and he dropped some major jewels over the weekend on their last two podcasts. So that they're leaving Spotify, and they feel like they weren't being valued as black men, and like Spotify was trying to like give them like watches and not like pay increases. So I just think it's major to stay independent. I know we had like a network try to offer us some type of deal, but I think it's just stay as independent for as long as possible, own your IP and things of that nature. So were y'all surprised that I had no idea that they was getting like lowball with Spotify, and like the podcast genre is so new to the point where no one really knows where this is really going, finance wise, and like it was just crazy, bro. That podcasters are getting like $250 million deals, and it was wild. He was dropping jewels though, especially on like staying independent.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important in today's day and age, and it's kind of like it's pushed upon us to become our own entrepreneurs. You know what I mean? And especially in today's society where the podcast industry is still relatively new, it's important for us to kind of create our own lane. You know what I mean? Or to create our own market, I should say. And that's what Joey and them, essentially, that's what they did. They tested the market. Obviously, they signed a deal with Spotify for 2 years. Then shortly afterwards, obviously now they're starting to create their own brand with what Joe Budden TV, correct? And I think they're going to end up having, like I said, podcasts and some other things are going to be on their own network. So I definitely think that's important. You know what I mean? It's important for the culture. It pushes out independency. And, I think it's great. And especially for people that we look up to, like I said, I mean, it definitely, makes me excited to see where our podcast could eventually go, someday. But shout out to the other, to the network that Jarvis had previously, talked about that was looking to sign us. We definitely appreciate that because, we're very humbled by that. But like you said, we're definitely into, creating our own lane and eventually, doing something much bigger than ourselves. So
facts. But shout out to them. We definitely, appreciate the offer. It was big. False.
When I was watching that, I actually I did tune into the episode that we're talking about, and when he was discussing it, when he was discussing the whole Spotify contract negotiation, of course, as I'm pretty sure that you guys did, the first thing that came to my mind, of course, is our podcast, and this got me thinking of like, we need to learn from that. We need to like know our worth. And I think it was something that Master P said a few weeks ago. I mentioned it on the What You Want, and Joe Budden mentioned it again as well. Is that if the white man offering you $1 million, then you're probably worth 20 to 30 million. Right. So always take that into consideration. So I appreciate the fact that you didn't rush into a deal. Give us some time to grow. Give us the time to even make our worth even more and kind of learn our worth, because like you said, it's a new industry. So before we start jumping into things, it'd be good to know our worth before we even go into negotiation, because going into negotiations not knowing your worth, you're basically going to get screwed over. It's a guarantee. Yeah. Exactly. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Yeah. So we ain't going. I don't want the Brando and no 360 deals and nothing like that. Getting fucked later on in my career. Now I'm 40 years old, pissed off at life. I got screwed over. So I'm glad that people that have gone through that already are trying to make sure that the ones after them don't. So we should take heed to what they say and be about our business as well as our art.
I think one of the main things that I took from the podcast. Before I get into that, if anyone has a podcast or if you're thinking about it, you have to listen to that episode. Episode 375 of the Joe Budden Podcast, Views from the Spot. You got to listen to it. Like, listen to it. You're going to be on the edge of your seat. Like, it's gym after gym after gym that he's dropping. Like Brandon said, like he went through all this shit, so other people don't have to. Like he's willing to basically fall on the sword for the culture, basically. Like he's trying
to, you won't have to go through that, you know?
Exactly. Like he's going through it, so we don't have to. Like each one teach one. But one of the main things I took from it is that nobody should be signing a long-term deal. Like no matter what it is. Like you see exactly. You see LeBron and them doing it in the NBA, like 1-2 year deals with an option, something like that. But that whole thing with the long-term deals, the shit is done for. Especially like what we're doing with podcasting, like Jarvis said, like it's so new of an industry. Like nobody knows where it's going to be a year from now, 2 years from now. Like it's changing so much. So to get locked into a long-term deal just isn't smart. Like it's not good business. Because let's say they signed a 5-year deal. Like they would have been getting fucked over for 5 years. Meanwhile, they could have renegotiated or gone to somewhere else like they're doing now. So just don't sign a long-term deal. It's not smart.
I do want to be clear. I don't think they were getting fucked in their current deal. It's just that I believe that they offer, and this is something we got to watch out for. They offer you. What they do is offer you some amount of money that they know that you haven't touched before. But what comes with that is giving up all your rights. So that's kind of where the negotiation, went left. So everything ain't about a dollar amount all the time. So you also got to remember that in negotiation, and also don't never negotiate desperately because you will lose every time. So yeah.
And I think it also helped that the fact that Joey was at once in the music industry and he's been fucked over before in a deal. So he kind of obviously already understood the music portion of it. And I guess he kind of correlated that to the podcast industry. So it was good that he was, like I said, able to drop gems like Drew had said.
I was taking notes, bro. I was on the road and I was just like trying to like mentally take notes. I had to pull over my car and like jot some stuff down because that was valuable information, especially like Drew said, if you have a podcast,
you can replay the episode, right?
I can't. I never listened to episode twice,
like it was live, bro. He couldn't replay
it. Yeah. You ain't have to pull off on the interstate, man.
Now look, if y'all listen to our podcast, listen to it over and over again. But for me, I can only listen to an episode once. After that, it's on to the next.
Fast forward and get to the part you need. But sometimes when you get that itch, you might forget later. So you want to why it's fresh in your mind, go ahead and I appreciate that, Jarvis. Keep doing what you did.
Yeah. So, Monica, Brandy, they had like over 1 million viewers on their versus battle. Now, for me, I'm gonna keep it real. It was an awesome battle. I had Monica winning, not necessarily like a huge score, but I had Brandy winning in the beginning. But I didn't know like after like 2000. Like, Brandy wasn't touching Monica. So I think Brandy had, like, the earlier hits more so than Monica, but, like, that steam kind of died down. But, listen, we're not going to get into the battle. We're talking about what happened during the battle. Brandy said that back in the day, Monica slapped her. So my question to y'all is, do y'all think y'all can ever, like, be cool with someone that is cold cock, like, slap the hell out of y'all? Y'all think somebody to slap the taste out your mouth, dog?
It depends when it happened.
I mean, it was like what in there.
It depends. Like, I mean, if we were in high school, you slap boxing, and y'all know me, I didn't slap box because of the fact that I ain't. If you slap me in the face too hard, we might have to get rocking, bro. But then I mean, if that was then yeah, that's cool. But you're not about to slap me in my face as a grown ass man. Absolutely not. You're not getting away with that shit, bro.
Ain't no reconciliation.
Yeah.
It's some things as a man that you do. Well, they're women, so it's different. But it depends. Like you said, how early in life did this happen? Did I get any revenge for it? Did I get any get back? Because that's really a big factor in it. Like, I can't walk. You walking around up one, I might not want to be around you there. So
that's fact.
At least got to even the score, then we can be cool. So you say, hey, let me get a free shot. I don't know, but even the score.
Every time I think about somebody getting slapped, bro, I think of the Charlie Murphy skit, bro, on the day. Bro, you are not about to slap me, bro, and get head, bro.
That's so disrespectful. I think that's like, other than spitting on someone, like the most disrespectful thing you do is this open hand, like this smack to the face, dog. This slap.
Yeah.
That is wild. Especially as an adult, that's
You're
wild.
not slapping me. Yeah, you're not slapping me.
We talked about this before, dog. It depends on what he looked like, dog. It depends. It depends on who. It depends on what he looks like. It depends on who he is. If I don't think I can beat him, then he's like, get your slaps off, nigga. I ain't gonna do nothing to you. Dog, I'm not fighting a dude that I don't think I can beat. It's as simple as that.
Time out, Brando.
Oh, what is wrong with Drew, dog?
Time out, Brando. You grew up with Drew, right? Like, did y'all go to high school together?
Yes.
Y'all go to middle school together?
Yeah.
So time out, dog. Have you ever seen Drew like almost get into a physical altercation or anything like that?
I've seen Drew in numerous physical altercations. I lie to you not. I've seen him in numerous altercations. I've actually seen, for real, the crazy thing about it is Drew might have been in more physical altercations than most of my friends. That's the crazy thing.
So Drew, capping then?
No.
Drew was younger. Drew had little man syndrome back then. It was he ran off at, he's not as humble. He won't as humble as he is now. I say that.
So you there
was one time, dog. We were playing basketball, dog. We were playing basketball in Brandon's driveway, bro. And so we were playing against like some grown ass men. So like we were probably in high school at this point.
Yeah, we was about high school. Probably
it was maybe like 11th, 12th grade type. Yeah. And like one of our friends' girlfriend's dad like challenged us to a game of basketball. So it was her dad with a bunch of his friends versus like us, like me, Brandon, like Jorel, like playing some grown ass men, dog. So we're playing them in the driveway, dog, and we start smacking these boys, dog, and I start talking cash shit to some grown ass men, dog, talking cash shit to this dude. Like, you really getting beat by some high schoolers. Like, y'all supposed to, y'all grown.
Y'all supposed to got challenged, y'all.
They're like in their 30s and 40s. Like, you shouldn't be losing to some high school kids. Like, there's no reason. And it's not like we all state in basketball. Like, we're just regular kids playing basketball. And y'all are losing. And they're losing to us.
They challenged us.
Exactly. They challenged us, dog. This dude put me in a chokehold, dog.
See, Drew leaving stuff out, though. See, Drew be leaving stuff out.
All right, fill in the blanks.
Bro,
did he give you a noogie, dog? Did he give you a noogie?
No,
he had Drew up in the air.
A grown man?
He was dangling. Drew B was dangling. Like he said in the high chair. Hey, Drew's leaving out the part, though. See, what Drew just said, yeah, I just said that y'all losing to some high schoolers. Drew's delivery is very disrespectful. This is a very, very it's the type of delivery that'll get under your skin. If Drew made it to the NBA, he'll be a light-skinned Patrick Beverly. Yeah. That'd be Drew in the NBA.
Drew's dirty.
Light-skinned Patrick Beverly.
So talking about a grown man choked Drew out?
Yeah.
Did you tell your dad?
Did I tell my dad?
No, Drew, did you tell him?
Nah.
Listen, this is the part you're not leaving. This is the part. His daughter was there when this happened.
Yeah.
So she ran up like, Daddy, stop. Daddy, stop. What are you doing? So he let him back down.
No, the funniest part that me getting choked out, I'm still trying to talk shit.
Yeah, he's
but
talking shit in the air. Okay, I'm still talking. You still losing. You still suck. You still suck. You still suck.
No, what happened? Did the dad apologize?
I think he ended up eventually apologizing.
I mean, he got smacked. He lost. What
he ended up apologizing, but he didn't seem regretful. He kind of felt like Drew deserved it, but he shouldn't have did it. You know what I mean? It was like that type of thing.
So time out, Drew. Time out. So, damn. Was that your girlfriend's dad?
Nah.
I'm gonna say, dog, that's hilarious, dog. Like, but I had a homeboy back in college, dog. He said that this dude was like popping off to him, like, yeah, you and your dad, y'all both soft. And he's like, dog, like, my dad was looking out the window, dog, and the dude started pissing in our grass. I'm like, yo,
Piss to the driveway, dog.
so you don't let a kid, dog. I'll be damned. I'm a grown man, dog. I'm not gonna watch a kid like talk trash to me in front of my house and pee on my grass, dog. Like that's wild.
Yeah, you're gonna sometimes you can send a message without kind of like, you don't want to, knock a nigga out, but you can rough somebody, you can rough a kid, you know what I'm saying?
Put it this way,
you gotta just let them know without hurting them.
I'm taking my belt off, bro, and I'm commencing to whoop somebody.
That's not the best. See, that might be the solution right there. Like Tyrese, like Jody and Baby Boy with
Hey, but the dad is lucky, dog, because like them young boys got like young boy strength, and they got like that stamina. So,
but they too quick nowadays.
But they ain't got that dad strength.
For that,
strength is different. That dad strength is different, dog.
Yeah.
Once they get a hold of you, dog. Were you scared, Drew? Were you scared for your life?
He was talking shit. He was still talking shit. Obviously, he won't scare.
No, I knew he wasn't gonna kill me. Like I knew he wasn't.
Oh, man, you think that? You ain't think he would choke you neither. You did that.
No, he's not gonna kill me in my bed.
You did not expect him to choke you. Nobody did. I didn't see that one coming.
Of course not, but I'm like, this dude's not gonna throw away his whole life over a basketball game. Like, he's not gonna do that.
Nah, you'd be surprised, dog, what people be in the
get in somebody's skin, Drew. You know, just to let you know how irritating you are. That somebody was.
Was that the day? That was the day Drew got humbled.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. He didn't get humbled. Drew just went on that soliloquy about, I'm not fighting nobody. I don't think I can fight yada yada yada. But he's still the biggest shit talker. It makes no sense to me. It's crazy.
Oh yeah.
He's like basically what Drew is saying. Look, I'm gonna say what I want regardless. But if we got to fight and I feel that I can't win, I'm gonna still say what I got to say. But we're just not gonna fight. You just have to be mad by yourself unless you catch me. I guess this is his mentality.
And I'll be honest. If I got a squad with me, I'll talk shit to anybody. Don't care. I'm that guy. If I got a squad with me, dog, I'm gonna talk shit with anybody I don't care who you are. If I'm by myself, you won't see me, dog.
That is facts about Drew. That is facts. I've been where Drew has talked shit when he's been with everybody, and then by himself he won't do nothing.
Dog, I know who I am, dog. I'm comfortable in my own skin. Dog, there was plenty of times in college where Adrian, shout out to Adrian, dog, this dude saved me from so many ass whoopings in the courts. Dog, I would talk cash shit just because I knew he was with me. Dog, he ended up having to push dudes like coming for me, it's like saving me a whole bunch of times. Because I'm talking cash shit if I got my friends with me.
Yeah, but it's wrong
with boys, dog. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Webb. Shout out to Webb, dog. The Webb, I don't think growing up, Webb was always like he was arrogant, but I never known Webb to like really. I guess because nobody really he didn't really mess with no one.
I mean, sometimes when you're on a basketball court, it just brings out a different side of you.
Yeah.
So maybe on the basketball court, he might get into an altercation, but never off the court. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing that can get him right out of that competitive juices. That's probably what it is.
Oh, so perfect segue. Speaking of basketball, so over the since our last pod, the NBA players did a protest. So they didn't participate in games for about 3 or 4 days?
3 days.
It was 3 days, yeah.
3 days. So like that, honestly, I'm gonna be all the way real with y'all. That said a lot. Like these players are willing to sacrifice their money to take a stance on, what's happening here. So shout out to the NBA. The NBA is absolutely getting this thing right. Yeah. And the other leagues need to take notes. Because like that was major for me. That was major.
NHL canceled as well.
Yeah, MLB too.
MLS.
The whole sports world stopped.
But they followed suit. They followed it. The NBA didn't do that. The other leagues definitely would have did that.
Not only just the NBA, the Milwaukee Bucks specifically are the ones who because the incident went down in Wisconsin. Yeah. So the Milwaukee Bucks were the first one to do it, and then the NBA followed suit, and then the rest of the sports world followed suit. So in my opinion, I feel the NBA did the right thing. Unfortunately, I don't think it doesn't mean much in the big scheme of things. The messaging is good. And I think it's good to show that to show us, the black people, are people of color that. Oh, my bad.
You fall again? Oh.
Nah, this time. Oh man, my bad. But it shows that
I thought that boy fell again, dog. No cap.
I ain't never falling again. I ain't never falling off. But yeah, it shows that the NBA and the players, just how conscious they are of everything that's going on. They want to make sure that it's in the forefront and is not forgotten. They don't want this to be something that is a trend and it goes away. Then we get back to normal life, and then our brothers and sisters are still getting shot down in the street. And do I think that their stoppage of play will be a direct end to that? No, obviously not. We all know that. But sometimes it's messaging. Keep trying. Each step, another step. Like don't leave one stone unturned. You know, let people know that we're aware. We're not going to forget. This is not going to go away. Like we're going to keep fighting. And
I disagree. I think that the NBA, obviously they did it right, but I think that message definitely means something. When you start taking money out of owners' pockets, and obviously that affects their bottom line and their bottom dollar, and these owners are also sometimes affiliated and connected to city officials, I think it makes a very, very huge dent in the impact in that specific communities, in the communities that those NBA teams are in.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree with that. But here's the thing. This is my point. Even if the owners start getting involved and trying to, fight for the cause, at the end of the day, these policemen that are out on the street ain't involved in none of that. And when shit get hectic, when shit get real, they have a gun on their hip. What's going on in the government, city officials now, maybe if like you say, if maybe the punishment and people were getting convicted quickly and like maybe it would go down. But I think it really needs to start with the cops and how are we hiring cops, who these people are. It seems like there's like it's easier to be a cop than a lot of other jobs.
Yeah. It's
easy to be a policeman or get the job. You can come straight out of high school, be a little physically fit. You can't even be the best athlete for real. You mean anybody. Just you can't, be a little bit capable and have a good criminal record, you in there.
Yeah.
And that could be, they don't even do like psychological screenings or psychological exams. They don't do thorough background checks of who you are and what you represent, which they probably don't care. They just want cops. They need cops, so you want to sign up. But I think the problem needs to be fixed at the exact source of the people who's actually doing the killing. I get that things start from the top and trickle down. But I just feel like in something like this, these cops are the ones that are physically on the streets.
And that brings me to 2 points. I think, like you said earlier about more black people need to be doctors. Like we've been taught, since we were young, like, oh, police officers are bad. Don't be a cop. Da-da-da-da. They're the pigs. Da-da-da-da. If we had more black police officers, and not necessarily black, but people from the community, like Acres Home.
Real brothers. Just go ahead and say real niggas in uniform. This is what we need. So maybe get a lot of, because like you said, all skinfolk and your kinfolk.
Yeah, and people that understand the community. Because my homeboy, he's from Acres Homes, right? Mm-hmm. And he says like, some of the police officers over here that's been knowing them since they were kids. So they see them out, standing outside late at night. Oh, that's Mike and Ray. I know their family. I know their fathers. Like those dudes ain't nothing. But if you have someone that, from a completely different area, like from the suburbs, they see like young black kids on the corner, like, oh, they must be up to something. Let me search them. Let me see what's going on. So that's number one. Number two. And my father served in the military. Jorel's father served in the military. Jorel's in the military. However, the militarization of the law enforcement is a major issue. We have guys that are coming from war, and they're in combat mode. They're in, we're going to search you down and kill you mode. So if they're not getting properly therapy from PTSD, and you put these guys in these high stress situations, because don't get it twisted. Like being a cop is a stressful job.
That's what I mean. And they hit a moment out in the streets. Exactly.
You put your life on line. So I'm never going to like negate what police officers do. I have police officers in my family. It's a very stressful job. But if you put those guys that were in combat in stressful positions like that, and I'm not giving them any excuses, but that triggers something within them. So going back to what you said, like the mental health screenings, make it more rigorous. Like put those guys in the situations to where, you know, you can see, because like people are losing lives. They said, Steven Jackson said more than 300 black men have been killed by police since his friend passed.
George Floyd? George
Floyd. They said since George.
What's the number again?
300.
So let me get this straight. So George Floyd is killing sparked, you know, another very popular, not popular, but you know, well talked about,
controversial.
Yeah. Okay. And well, since then they still killed 300 more people.
No, I mean
it's right in front of our face, basically.
It is what it is. I mean, once you know, not to get historical on y'all, but once slavery, quote unquote, ended, they started to build up prison systems. Like historically speaking, like law enforcement and police is a new thing. So like
there were slave catchers. That's how it started. Slave catchers.
So
that's what it is. But what you said brought me to another point. There's another scary point. Did you guys know that the protests in Wisconsin, when the guy, the teenager, the 17-year-old Kyle, came with his rifle and calling himself protecting, and they end up murdering? Fact is, and this is a fact, I'm not making this up, he was slated to be a police officer within the next year or so.
Yeah, he looked up to police officers. That's what he wanted. That's what his job aspiration was.
And not only did he look up to police officers, he was on the course. He was 17. He was already, basically, you know how sometimes you go to pre-college and things like, he was going to be a police officer next year. Not only did he want to be, he was going to be a police officer within the next year or so. That's a fact. And I think that's just everything you need to know in a nutshell. That people like him are the police.
It's basically KKK. I mean, I honestly believe a lot of police officers are KKK.
They've been caught. That's not a belief. That's a fact.
Yeah, and it's crazy. I was with my nephew at the park like a month ago, and I'm seeing like this white guy. Like, oh, he's so cute. I'm like, okay, but once he turned 18, y'all gonna be threatened by him. It's crazy how life works that way. Drew, y'all want to add anything before we get off this topic? Oh, Drew, I gotta ask you this, Drew. Do you think it was more beneficial do you think it'll be a bigger statement for the NBA to have stopped playing altogether? Or do you think it's a bigger statement that they are on TV and they can talk about it? Now the spotlight's on them. What do you think?
I mean, I think it was very important for them just to show, like, this isn't a bluff. Like, we will stop play. So, like, now that they've kind of, like, set the precedence, like, if any more bullshit happens, like, we'll do it again. Like, we're not scared to stop playing. So I feel like that was the most important thing. And I feel like and we'll see with like the NFL, you know, starting in a couple weeks, you know, that's a whole different monster, the NFL, but we'll see what's going to happen with the NFL. We know how they've been. Like, we all know the NBA is the most progressive league. So the NFL is always behind the times. So we're going to see what happens with the NFL and NFL players, like how far are they willing to go, things like that. But I felt like just everybody seeing that the players are willing just to stop, that's the most important thing. Getting back to play, like you said, they can still, you know, talk about it. There's still a spotlight on them. They're in the bubble, so everyone's there. So I feel like that does give them a platform. Because I know a lot of the people were saying, okay, what if you stop the season? Okay, everybody goes to their own home, and then what? Like, this big platform is gone at that point, and like, what are people going to be doing when they're not playing basketball? Like, they're just going to go back home and just chill till the season start? Like, what's really going to happen? So
I'm out. Jorel, you all right, boy? You looking a little sad over there. Look at me, Jorel. Look at me, dog.
No, I'm listening to what Drew is saying.
Hey, Jorel like this.
No, I was listening to what Drew was saying because it also brought to my attention, like, because I was watching like Get Up on ESPN, and then they were like spilling the narrative that, you know, these NBA players and these NFL players need to go back to their respective communities, you know, and give more and, you know, educate individuals. And I'm like,
You do that.
They do that already. Like, they're already doing that. You're telling them to do stuff that they do every single day in the off season. A lot of these guys have been given their entire game checks to organizations to be able to help educate people and to help individuals who are protesting and things like that. So I just call bullshit on things that, you know, people are talking about in regards to social injustice and police brutality, because it's definitely an issue and it's something that it needs to be addressed.
I mean, like they literally oppress us and then think it should be our responsibility to stop oppression. It's amazing to watch. It's amazing to watch. It's a sick.
And just like Jarvis has said, I understand that being a police officer is, you know, definitely a stressful job. You know, it's definitely hard to be in that type of environment, you know, risking your life every single day. But let's cut the bullshit. I know hindsight is 20/20, but let's cut the bullshit. It's not that hard to apprehend somebody like Jacob Blake, who had 3 police officers that were standing there, and he was one person with a knife. Even though he may have had a knife in his hand, I don't even know if it was in his possession at the time because the video isn't very clear. But you mean to tell me that 3 police officers can't stop one man?
No, what I just don't understand what happened to using tasers. Like, does that? I don't understand. Like, does that? They just don't like. Why aren't tasers being used? Like, if someone is running away from you, okay, you tase them in the back and they go down. Like, I just don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. You can never justify to me shooting somebody in the back 7 times. You can't justify that shit to me. You just can't. I don't care. I don't care the person's race. I don't give a fuck what was going on. You cannot justify to me 7 shots in the back.
And not only that, like, it was close range. So I can understand if you feel like, okay, he might be going to his car to reach for a weapon, but you were arm's distance to him. You could have just tackled him, handcuffed them, whatever. It didn't cause.
And not just one police officer. There were 3 police officers there. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And
you mean to tell me that you can't apprehend? You can't wrestle him down to the fucking ground?
And to shoot the car, he had his kids in the car. And
they don't mind killing us. Like, we try to make sense of it. We try to say, well, can you do this? Can you do that? It's getting so blatant. It's like blatant at this point. Yeah. Like it's almost like they're trying to cut our numbers down. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like they're trying to almost erase us. This is what it feels like. Like, we got another one. All right. We got another one. They'll be up in arms. We get another one next time. I'm not saying that it's like that, but I'm just saying it's like, it just seems like what? It just seems like that. You know?
The thing is that the United States, our country may never give us our roses. They may never, you know, give us our flowers for what we've done for this country, but we're deep rooted in everything.
Hey, you know the crazy thing about it is, they do give us our flowers. You know why? Because they want to be like us. And imitation is the biggest form of flattery. So they give us our flowers. The problem is they don't want to give us our equal rights. We don't fuck your flowers. Give us our equal rights. Treat us like you treat everybody else. Stop oppressing us. Stop. You know, and it's on so many different levels. To when you're trying to buy a home, when you're trying to get a loan, when you're trying to get a job, when you're trying to get in school. It's just so much hurdles that people don't realize if you're not of color that people of color have to go through. People really don't think it's true.
Yeah, black culture is
a media-made issue. They really honestly believe that. And I think
black culture is appropriated, bro. It's appropriated by. I'm not gonna go into it because we'll be sitting here talking about this.
Yeah, we can go on all day about this bullshit. But to wrap it up, back to the NBA. I heard about some of the things that was going on in the player meetings. I'm tired of LeBron James. I'm about sick of LeBron. Enough is enough with LeBron James. He's always grandstanding. He's always putting on. He's always doing some fake shit. I told y'all last week about the Michael Meggs book when he's walking around with his book, acting like he's reading it, fake reading books. You ask him a question, he goes on a 2-minute soliloquy saying nothing. His behavior, I don't know if you guys heard about this. His behavior doing those negotiations with the owners and the players and different people in office in the NBA, his behavior is horrible. I believe this story to be 100% true because a lot of parties have said it. He basically, they had the meeting. Michael Jordan was leading the meeting. Michael Jordan was involved in this meeting. And everybody had the meeting. Everybody, some important people made their points, and then they closed the meeting. Right before they came to an agreement to open up, start the season back. They came to an agreement. Right before the meeting ends, here comes LeBron grandstanding, trying to put on a show, trying to act like he's involved more than he really is, just trying to be important and making himself the center of attention. And here he comes. And these are from what the NBA players said. They say he gave a 15-minute speech saying how, listen, I don't need this. I'm already set. The guys beneath me, this and that. My guys, the guys beneath me. Just being very unhumble, always trying to put on, always being fake. The guy's the fakest guy I've ever seen. He's too good of a basketball.
I'm hating this LeBron slander right now because I think LeBron has been the biggest pillar for the black community in regards to the NBA. He's done more for the NBA than any African American player has ever done in their sport.
I would not take that.
Muhammad Ali, you are ODing right now. Muhammad Ali.
Last time I checked. Wait a minute. Wait a fucking minute. Listen.
Muhammad Ali, what he did for the black community?
Listen. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Muhammad Ali have done very well for the black community. They have done above and beyond for the black community. But what LeBron James has done is on a different level. Creating a school for lower income children in the Akron, Ohio community, in the Cleveland community, that is huge. That is completely huge.
That's huge.
To be the face of a league and to step out in front of that and to speak about police brutality when Michael Jordan didn't do it, when he was the face of the league, when other stars who were the face of their franchises and the league did not do it, that is huge. LeBron has a platform that includes social media, and he has ties to very high people. Warren Buffett is this man's mentor. So for him to risk all of that and to put all that on the line, especially with Nike.
But dog, get this. That's I mean, I respect it. But Muhammad Ali gave up his prime years to fight for a cause.
Absolutely. That's what I said.
His prime.
Absolutely. I don't take anything that LeBron James has done. But from Muhammad Ali, But I think that LeBron, being the pillar that he is important to the culture.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So put it this way. Let me retract my statement. He is the Muhammad Ali of our culture.
No, and that's where I have to draw the line. I'm going to have to draw the line. Now, when you talk about his acts and the things that he do, I would never take that away. It's more so, how can I put this? He's fake. And when I say fake, I do not mean that he's not for the cause.
I wouldn't say he's fake. I would say he's misinformed and miseducated.
No. I think he's fake.
He basically said LeBron tries to put on a show.
Exactly.
Like,
that's what I'm saying. He's always grandstanding. Yeah. He's always. You can tell he does stuff for the gram.
Yeah. Like what he's feeling, he can be feeling these things like deeply in his heart.
Exactly.
But when it comes to what he does out in public, he puts on a show. He always.
How y'all know that though?
It's obvious. It's so obvious.
He does it with everything. It's not just social justice.
I don't
he
get
does it when he's dancing, when he's rapping.
Exactly. It's who he is.
He's always putting extra sauce on something when it doesn't have to do that. When he did when he does the rapping, when he's working out, like that shit is extra. It's just extra. Like you don't need to be doing all.
He's corny. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. And it's not a bad thing. But like people go in about people like Russell Wilson for being corny and other people like that. I don't think those guys are corny because I feel that they're acting natural. I feel that sometimes LeBron is not being natural. He's putting on a show. He's putting on for the cameras. He's calculated. I feel he doesn't do anything spontaneously, or not spontaneously, but I just feel like he's always just trying to put on, and it's obvious. It's cringeworthy to be quite honest. It's similar to what's Camilla Harris. I think it's very similar to that when she's fake eating chicken and hot sauce because she wants to get the black vote. And I'm not saying LeBron does that type of thing or he doesn't have the best interest of his people. Be clear about that. That is not what I'm saying. And what I'm saying is not that deep. It's not that big of a deal. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to take away from the person.
Is who he is.
Yeah, I'm talking about more so his personality.
Right. So let's switch gears.
Okay.
We're talking about red flags.
Okay.
Red flags. So, us being men, we're gonna give it the man's perspective. And I wish we had a woman's perspective to see what certain red flags that they look out for, so we can, let the men listeners know what not to do. So because we've all been in, fairly serious relationships at one point in time in our lives. And if you harken back to when you're dating that person, you start to see that there's red flags there, and not all the time we see the red flags, so we choose to ignore it. So what are some major red flags that y'all have seen, or what are some major red flags for y'all? For me personally, I'm big on family. I'm huge on family. So if I see if I'm talking to a chick and she has no respect for her mom, cursing her mom out, get into F my mom, my dad, they trash, da 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 da. It's gonna show me okay, if you feel that way about your own parents, what makes you think later on down the road you're not gonna come at my parents like that, my peoples like that, So when I was dating, when I was out in the dating world, and this is no disrespect to girls that have daddy issues or whatnot, but when I was in my last summer, I was in my dating bag, you know what I'm saying, on Tinder, on my little dates, my little date nights. Honestly, I'll be real with y'all. I'm gonna be completely because I got out of a serious relationship. You know what I mean? Let's be real, a serious relationship, a 7-year relationship with someone. So, and this has nothing to do with that person that I was involved with. Just me seeing my friends go through things. One of the first questions I'll ask these chicks on date is oh, do you have daddy issues? And they'll start laughing oh no, that was a serious question. And some of the girls will be honest, yeah, I do have daddy issues. My dad hasn't been there, da 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 da. Or some girls no, I have an amazing relationship with my dad. And then I'll ask them, and maybe it's too soon on the first date. My first date back was hey, have you ever dealt with trauma? So, I mean, y'all might laugh at it, but even when I was dating my girl that I'm with now, I thought it was because I was dating for myself and my daughters. So, I got my question back real, how close are you to your family? How do you feel about kids? How good are you with children? So that's some red flags that, Jarvis looks out for. What about y'all?
For me,
go ahead, bro.
For me, I think it's honesty and transparency, and that family aspect. Like you said, Jarvis, I think honesty and transparency are obviously the foundation of any good relationship. I think if you all can't communicate and be honest with one another about, your feelings or about things that you have done, whether it be, you guys don't, you don't feel like you can be judged by that individual or whatever, that's important. You know what I mean? It's important to bring, all your baggage to the table so that way that person's aware, and vice versa, and to be able to have those tough conversations with that individual when that time arises. So that way, when y'all do get into an argument, it makes things a little bit easier because I know how my partner is going to react to things that I do, or I know what to expect from her, But yeah, the family aspect is definitely huge, bro. Obviously my parents divorced when I was relatively young, but I got 2 great step parents out of it. And seeing that, was definitely a blessing in disguise because I got to see 2 different types of marriages, obviously, but 2 very happy marriages at the end of the day.
That's
key. I never really, that's all that matters. And I never got to see, obviously, when your parents, you see them argue and obviously, and, they eventually get over it. But you kind of still see that nurture and that loving, environment that they're able to create and cultivate. And so I think that's something that's definitely important that I would be looking for, in in a person to see if they're nurturing, like I said, honest and transparent, and you know how do they view their family? Do they spend time with their family? Are they involved? Whatever the case. So
And fellas, let me tell you something. Learn from. I'm Big J now. All right, learn from Big J's mistakes. All right. So when you're first meeting a chick, never listen to me, young boys out there. All right, I'm gonna drop some game on y'all real quick. When you first meet a chick, whatever you do, never, ever tell her the things that your ex did wrong. Because women are smart. They're okay. They're going to try that like, oh, my ex, she didn't clean. My ex was this, that, and the third. So the woman that's hearing this, obviously she's going to avoid doing those bad things. But eventually, if that's who they are, it's going to come to light. And you're going to be tricked.
You're going to be in too deep by then.
Yeah, facts. I'll be quiet now, you know.
So, I mean, I feel like y'all both hitting good points. You know, Jorel mentioned communication, of course, super important, you know, in building a relationship. Jarvis mentioned the family aspect. So I'm gonna go a different route. I mean, we're all, you know, in our 30s. So for me, like, something that I look for is drive. Like when it comes to work ethic, things like that. Like if you're lazy or anything like that, like that's a huge red flag. Like at this point, like when we're getting into relationships, we're thinking about like, okay, I'm thinking about building a future with a person. Like, you know, when it comes to, you know, buying a house, when it comes to, you know, if you're being with them for the rest of your life, retirement, things like that. Like a lot of those things you have to start thinking about at our age now. So like in terms of laziness, like that's a huge thing. Like for me, I'm looking for like drive, like I said, a good work ethic when it comes to anything, you know, whether it is what they do for their job or, you know, things, you know, what you do for around the house, things like that. So that's, for me, that's the main thing, or not the main thing, but that to add to gets to with what y'all said about communication and family, I'll add that in.
Jasper right now, dog. Go ahead. I'll let you cook. He's in
ISO
right now.
ISO
over.
He's heating up. He's heating up. Go ahead, Brando.
What'd you think, Brando?
For me personally, there's a few red flags. One that comes to mind.
They gotta have a lighter on them at all times.
I can't have no square girl, man.
No lighter is a red flag, bro.
Yeah, you gotta be on the same page as me, baby. That's all. You know, if I'm missing mines, you gotta have one to flick for me. You know, you gotta pick up where I lack. Ain't that how I go? You know, and I'll do the same for you. I think that's fair. You know, but a red flag for me is which probably goes for most women, but it's probably levels to it. If you need too much attention, I don't like that. I don't like when a lady needs too much attention. And most ladies, you gotta give your lady attention, duh. No, but it's levels to it. I think that some ladies want it more than others, or I think it's bad if you want attention to the point that you're willing to do anything to get it. Or if you're not willing to do anything to get it, you cry about it all the time. Like on social media, like always crying about some boy problems, always talking about relationship talk, always in your soapbox, you know, men. And if you seem man hungry to me, that's a red flag. You know, like a little high school girl, is always talking about men and relationship shit and niggas ain't shit and if you don't do it, I can find somebody else that will, and all that type of rhetoric. And let me say something about that statement. I hate when girls say that. If you don't do it, I can find somebody else that will. My thing is, why does somebody have to do it? If somebody's not doing it, why do you got to find somebody that will? Just do it yourself, or just chill for a second. So people that are like, ladies that are too pressed for the spotlight, or too pressed for attention, or too pressed for a boyfriend, or too pressed for a relationship, or too pressed for companionship, or too pressed for anything. Don't be pressed. Don't be pressed. Being pressed is a huge red flag to me. That's a huge red flag to me because one, I kind of think you in it for the wrong reasons. Because a lot of ladies, it seems like, and fellas do it too, but a lot of ladies seem like they want a boyfriend or a man just so they can say they have one.
Let me interject real quick. You hot right now. You on fire. Some women, I'm not gonna say all, because we're not bashing women here.
No, not at all. This is not a bash.
Some women are in it for the wedding and not. Well, I'm not gonna say women. Some people, because guys too.
Yeah, I said guys too.
For the wedding and not the marriage. So
yeah, exactly.
They just want the attention on them. They want their day, but then after that day fades, you gotta start putting in that work.
Exactly. And not only the wedding, they just want to feel like, that they want to show people that they can have somebody. You know what I mean? Or they want to show people that people just want that relationship lifestyle. And then these memes don't help goals, me and somebody's son and all that. That shit don't help because everybody's like desperate for that. And like, it's just like, dog, just sometimes it's going to come to you. And I feel that like if you kind of.
I got a question for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all think it's a red flag when you're talking to a person and they're not cool with any of their exes? Like, it's all ended on bad terms? Like, it's F him? Or do y'all think that's a red flag or that's
Huge
not?
Red flag. Huge red flag for me. The funny thing is, you know what? I'm going to say it. I'm going to say that this is crazy. I'm not going to mention any names. But I was talking to a young lady today, within the past couple of days. And we were talking about, things, that may have went wrong. Not went wrong, but just talking about maybe our old relationship with each other, basically. Just catching up type of shit. And not just her, but you would be I almost be begging ladies. I say this. This is my main question. So I'll be like, okay, what did you do wrong in a relationship? Because all I hear you say is this, and that about not just your boyfriend, but every person you have conflict with. It's not even just your relationship. So I just don't see it. I think it's a red flag when somebody can't see their fault in a situation or not willing to state it. Or
basically accountability issues.
Exactly. They show no accountability. And I that's just a huge red flag. Because one, I don't think you're real. I think that's a lack of genuine. It's a lack of being real, basically. Lack of telling the truth, keeping it real. Because me being a genuine person, and the first thing I'm gonna want to do is kind of tell you what's wrong with me, so you can know what to like. So you kind of know what you're up against, and to let you know if you want to fight this battle. I'll be upfront with my flaws. I'll be like, yo, this is what I do. I did this. I'll be upfront, and if you want to deal with it, then deal with it. And
we talked about it, Jorel. Jorel, we talked about that. That's the Jorel I talked about. Like coming into this situation I am with my girl now. I was upfront and being my genuine, like natural self. Now at that point, the person can decide to take it or leave it. So my dad's funny. My dad's different from me. I'm not a raw type dude. I'm not aggressive, anger type dude. I'm not my dad. My dad's my dad. Anyone knows my dad knows his rep. My dad said that because I think sometimes he thinks that I'm like him. He's like, son, whatever you do, a red flag. You don't want to get with a woman that leads you into trouble. You want a woman that gets you out of trouble, that calms you down. So if you're in an altercation, you don't want a woman like, whoop his ass.
Yeah, I'm gonna call my nigga.
You need a girl so calm you down. Like, no, chill. So you ain't gotta worry about that with me. I'm not a raw. You gotta push me to that point. Yeah. So I know growing up, that was like the major red flag that my dad always spoke about. So, but yeah. So if you are one of those dudes that are quick tempered, you're gonna want a woman that gets you away from that, gets you away from altercations, that kind of like calms you down. Because I was at Virginia Beach, dog. I'm chilling on the strip, dog. Chilling. I seen this dude walking with his girl, or whatever, right? And this dude had another dude had three other of his homeboys with him. And he called the girl out her name. I'm not gonna repeat what he said, but he called her out her name and he said some things about her body. And then the dude kind of looked like, okay, try to ignore it. And then his girl's like, you gonna let them talk to me like that? You gonna sit here and just let them disrespect me like that? You better do something about that. You better do something about that right now. He did something about it, but they did something about it too, and it didn't turn out well for him.
Man, sometimes you gotta just display common sense. I mean, something
exactly.
Sometimes you just have to take your L publicly.
Yeah, because I mean, at the end of the day, she could have got harmed.
Yeah.
You know what those guys had on? Like, you know what those guys was packing? If you have your girl with you, and us as men, as the protectors, we gotta think for ourselves and the idiots.
Yeah, sometimes
protect her and get her home safe.
Exactly. Sometimes protecting is just avoiding. Sometimes protection is avoiding, and then sometimes protection is taking action. And it's up to a man to make that call.
Yeah.
And if you want to be protected, leave it up to the man to make that call, and don't question his call. Or handle it yourself.
And I laugh a lot about what Drew says. It is funny, Drew. But a lot of dudes right now are sitting in the penitentiary because of that pride. Because they couldn't let it ride right then and there. And they had to do something about it. And now they're in the pen. And their girl is, living her life.
Yeah. I think all of us have been in. I think all of us have probably been in this situation where I've been in a situation where I should have let something ride, and my ego is like, I'm not going today. Sometimes you just ain't going. But yeah, like you said, you don't want your lady like encouraging it or like more so when that's her just wanting to show off. She want to show off her man that he's strong and all that. And that's what I'm talking about. That's a red flag to me. That's what you want to put on. That's what I'm saying. She wanted to feel important and be defended. Let's just keep it above. Because what sense does it make for him to go fight 3 people and then he fight them? Now what? Just say he even won. Say he won a fight and y'all just go home. The only good result of he beat them 3 dudes up and y'all go home is that you gonna feel good about yourself. That a man beat up 3 dudes for you.
Oh yeah.
So a lot of that is.
Guess what?
Yeah, exactly. In the group chat, exactly.
Mike whooped his ass.
Exactly.
He whooped his
exactly.
ass.
However,
Mike in jail right now, but
exactly.
2 days. You know what I'm saying? It's like, really? That's what we doing right now? But
listen, all I gotta say is if I start running, just run with me. All right? Let's leave it at that, all right? You want a nigga that's gonna show off? All right, I'm gonna show off how fast I am. All right?
You're gonna show off his 40 time.
I'm gonna get out, all right? Call your girls about that. You 440. That dude was out. Yeah, show off about that because I'm gone.
I'm gonna keep it a beam with y'all. If someone physically touches my girl, that's when I'm taking action. You know what I'm saying? That's when I'm doing it. But if I'm outnumbered like that, it's like I gotta get her safety. So it's pod question time. So we have a pod question from one of our listeners. She's been she told us not to mention her name because obviously it's a touchy subject, so we're not gonna mention her by name. But I talked to y'all before the pod and I told you her name and everything like that. So y'all know her situation. So she said, "Hey fellas, I've been with my man for over 2 years, and obviously the next step is marriage. However, I don't feel anything for him as far as like romance. And
why would that?
And he's a nice guy, but he hasn't cheated. We don't argue, but I just don't see a spark between us. How can I end it?"
I think that's a simple
gotta
answer.
be straight up.
Yeah, this is the answer to your question, young lady. What you just told us, tell him that exact same thing. That's all you can really do. What more can you do with that? What do you want me to say?
What you just told us, tell him.
Like, ghost him, like doing. To be honest with you, doing anything other than telling him what we just read would be fucked up. Ghosting him, I think that'd be fucked up. Leading him on, that'd be fucked up. Cheating on him, that'd be fucked up. So the least of the 4 options, the least of the evils would be just tell him what the fuck you just told us. Simple.
That's hard, dog. I'll be honest with you. I've never been. I'll keep it a beam. I've never been good at like breaking things off with women because I always feel like I want to be like I want to be the a-hole. I grew up with sisters, whatever, right? So you grow up with sisters, like you watching them come home, sad, crying due to a breakup, and I didn't want to be that guy. So to me, it was always like hard, like trying to, and maybe I am an F boy, but I always felt like it was kind of like,
Yo, we can say fuck. Say fuck. Don't ever say fuck like that. Don't do that again. Don't do that again. I don't want to hear you do that again.
I'm an F boy.
Hey, that's the name of the podcast, the F boy.
I'm an F boy.
But I just want to be a fuck boy, and like kind of like, because I remember I ain't gonna get into that bag. Almost got into a bag.
You almost got in trouble.
I almost got into a bag. But
hey, talk to me nice. Talk to me nice.
I just remember growing up, it's like, how can I finesse the situation? Like, let me do something to piss her off to make her break up with me, or always trying to get out of that conflict and like hurting someone's feelings. Yeah. But I'll tell the girl like this: y'all been together for 2 years. If you do get married to him, it's gonna cost you in the long run. Because eventually, if you're not happy with him now, like you're not gonna be happy with him in a marriage, and then y'all eventually gonna split up. Y'all might have kids, and then
you're actually gonna grow even more resentment
towards him. And he's a good guy. Like let him find a woman that actually appreciates him. Because obviously you don't. I'm not saying you don't appreciate him, but that's not what you want. He's not what you want.
It's not your style.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've all been through breakups. Like, and me myself, like I've gone about it the wrong way in the past. And at this point, honestly, the best thing to do is just be straight. Like Brandon said, just be straight up. Like that. I know you think like that's going to be, it's going to cause problems or anything like that, but that's really the best way to go about it.
And it will hurt him initially.
Yeah.
But either way, he's going to end up hurt from this situation. That is the least pain that he would feel if you're not going to waste his time. You're not going to cheat on him. You're not going to lead him on. And he can end it. He can kind of cut his losses early. And he can start his process of moving on earlier. Exactly. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
And they're in their 30s. The person is talking about in their 30s. So, I mean, don't.
You ain't got time to be wasting around then. You got to get,
don't mess up your good years.
It can't be me. You got to get it going. But, like, for me personally, to be completely honest with you, I've never broken up with anybody before in my life.
Me neither, dog. I'll keep it a bit.
I've never broken up with anybody, so I don't know how to answer that question. Like, I may have been in situationships or something. But when you're in a situationship, you don't got to break up. You can just kind of drift apart, So I've never.
You mean ghost them?
No, you ain't got to ghost. You can just.
No, not in a situation.
It can be a slow burn, Drew. Don't do that.
Yeah, exactly. Just a slow burn. Exactly. Just a slow burn. But
slow
I've never been in a situation where I wanted to.
Slow ghost.
Yeah, slow ghost. Yeah, I just never been in a situation that I had to break up with a lady. Either I did something. Either I done got. Either I done fucked up and my lady left me. But it's actually all that ever happens, to be honest with you. It's actually never been another. I have no other scenario for you. They all look the same for me. So maybe I need to be single forever. But I can't even give you any input on how to break up with somebody because I've never done it. Honestly, I've never done it. Not as an adult anyway. Maybe as a middle school or elementary kid, and I like just disappeared from the girl or something. But like our situationships. But as far as like a girl that had my heart, I never dumped it. I never tried to break it with anybody.
Easy way to do it. As teachers, we call this a shit sandwich. So if you're talking to a parent, you start off with the bad, you start off with the good, in the middle is the bad, and you end it with good. Yeah, I think you're a great person. Yeah, I think
don't work though, man.
But you're not the person for me. You're not someone I see myself with. And you end it with, however, I think that going forward, you can find someone that is meant. That's all I got.
Hey,
I'm sorry, yo.
Hey, cut the cap. Ain't nobody going for that in 2020, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
go ahead. Well, tell us, Jorel. What should she do?
I mean, I don't know.
Jorel, you've been dumped. Jorel, you've been dumped plenty of times, dog. This.
I have, but what I'm saying is that I've only broken up with one girl.
When was this? Who? What was this?
We can talk about that off air.
This is in 2011.
Yeah. No. Yes. 10.
Man, tell you, split the beans, man.
That was easy. Yeah, that was easy though.
Yeah,
that wasn't a tough breakup.
No, it wasn't tough, but I mean, I still had to do it.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's because some other things transpired. So.
Boys really don't want to get in their bags tonight, dog. Everybody trying to edit themselves. So y'all get at me for saying F-boy, but y'all editing your lives right now.
I mean, look, not every
something happened with he didn't cheat on me or nothing like that. Like she definitely didn't cheat on me, but like something else definitely happened. You know what I'm saying?
But bro, all I'm trying to say is, bro, like I've been in a situation one time where I've had to dump a female, and it's not fun.
It's not.
I mean, nobody likes rejection. Like nobody. It's not gonna be good for anyone.
Exactly. So, there's no way that you're gonna do it where the person's gonna walk away happy.
Y'all remember y'all first heartbreak?
Have I been heartbroken?
Y'all remember y'all first heartbreak?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
So do you think? Okay, so we're gonna get into a different bag. Since y'all don't want to talk about this,
Now, hold on. We're not talking about our first heartbreaks, bro.
No. Do y'all think? Because a lot of people say, "Oh, after my first heartbreak, I became a dog." I'm like, bro, your first heartbreak was 7th grade, dog. Not Jorel, not anyone in particular. I'm saying, like, do y'all think that's a valid excuse?
I mean, I don't think it's an excuse, but I think that it's true for a lot of people. I think this is the truth. Like, I
wouldn't say you become a dog, but I feel like
you become aware.
Your mentality changes a little bit. After
like, oh, I see what it is out here. Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. And act accordingly. That's all.
That's similar to an NBA player losing a championship, dog, and you coming back and you got that hunger, dog.
Yeah, you got that dog in you now. Hey, you actually do become a dog, huh?
I remember Jorel said something very interesting. This is like back in the MySpace era, dog. And it may be like it was MySpace.
The best era. That is the best era, by the way. Proceed.
But Jorel said something to the effect of like the crazy thing about relationships is like you're relying on another person. You know what I mean? So at any given moment, the person can decide I don't want to do this no more. You could be with someone for decades, and all of a sudden they can say I don't want to be with you no more, and then just like that, it's over.
Yeah.
That's how like easily like relationships can fold. All it takes is one party. All it takes. You could put it like your job. You could put in all this effort, all this hard work, and at the drop of a dime, it can be for naught.
That's it. And I actually was going to go to that your exact point with the job. That's with anything in life. If anything in life, if you're in a partnership, half of this situation is out of your control. Period.
Yeah.
Because something is just out of your control, and that's why it's risky being in it's risky to be in a relationship. When you're in a relationship, what's a term that we use a lot? You're giving your heart. Mm-hmm. Giving your heart away is a very risky thing because somebody has your heart and they got control of your heart now. They got control of how you feel, kind of, in a way. Now, if people kind of be like, can't nobody, change how I feel. Yeah, people you gonna have feelings regardless if you actually love the person. So you're gonna feel something. How you handle that may differ, but giving your heart away is a risk every single time. Boy, male or female, it's a risk. And we take that risk a lot of times. Even in times where you say, I'm never gonna do this again. I'm never gonna love again. Everybody wants love at the end.
I was just about to say that everyone wants to be loved.
Everybody wants to be loved. And I know earlier in this pod today, I was going on about, ladies wanting attention, yada, yada, yada. But at the end of the day, so do guys.
Yeah.
But it's just levels to it. That's all. But so everybody want to be loved and everybody can be heartbroken. Everybody. So with that being said, you just got to kind of just be upfront with people. And that's the best policy. Just be upfront with people. Be real with people. No matter if you think it's hard to a hard message to deliver. You gotta man up or woman up and be a fucking adult and kind of say, yo, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I'm thinking, this is what I think about you. And I love girls that do that to me. I love when a girl be saying like, yo, you cool and all, but I can't fuck with you because of this. I can't fuck with you because of that. I actually like that transparency. For one, it lets me know what I got to work around too. You know what I'm saying? It lets me know what I got to, maneuver around.
And it's weird because have y'all, I know I've been in a situation. Have y'all been in a situation where y'all kicking it with a chick, everything's good, and you're not looking for a relationship, but you're just expecting her to look for a relationship, and then the woman never gives you that, like, I want to be in a relationship with you? That always kind of weirded me out. That happened like once or twice. I'm like, dang, like, you don't want a relationship? Like, I know I'm not looking for one, but you know what I'm saying. I was expecting.
That don't really weird me out. That don't weird me out because these girls these days, man, it's a different. They don't care about. A lot of girls really don't care about that shit. To be honest with you, you got used, dog. You got used.
And more people nowadays, more so than ever, are deciding not to get married, and that's a whole other bad. Because back in the day, like the woman kind of depended on the man for marriage, and a lot of women now, like like my boy Coop says, he thinks marriage is a bad investment. He said, I'm a gambler. He says it's not. My odds aren't good. The odds aren't good. But I mean, some people do feel that way. To each his own. But we're gonna move on. You ready for this bracket? So last week, who won the bracket last week?
Dog, I got the results. Y'all about to be shocked, dog.
That was crazy, dog.
What was it? Was it Take Care and Watch the Throne?
And Watch the Throne.
Take Care versus Watch the Throne. 86% Take Care.
I told y'all, boys. I told y'all.
That was unexpected, dog.
That's not honest. I'm not shocked. The 86. I am shocked by the margin of it.
It's Drake, bro. That's all it is because it's Drake.
That's a high discrepancy, bro.
But it's Hove.
Yeah, but Kanye.
Yeah.
But Kanye is getting a lot of slander right now. So.
That's true.
So the first 2010 was My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. 2011 was Take Care. So let's move on to 2012. So I think Drew put together a great bracket.
I sent y'all the bracket again, and I hear no feedback. So
round one.
Let me look at it.
Hold on. Let's do honorable mentions to start. Let's get out of that way. So let me pull up the bracket real quick. All right. So so this is 2012. So we got the honorable mentions, and we'll get those out the way. These, didn't make the bracket, unfortunately. Some people had to be cut. So we got Schoolboy Q, Habits and Contradictions. That was a pretty good album. I don't think it was better than, was it Blank Face? I think that was his.
It's not better than any album on this list.
That was his magnus opus. Blank Face was,
Yeah, so I'm sure that'll be on the upcoming bracket, but it's still a good album. MMG Self-Made Volume 2 was on that one.
I feel like Self-Made Volume 2 came and went for some reason.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Whoa. What songs were on which one is Self-Made Volume 2? What was it? Is that the one with
Sally and them?
Yeah, and that album was great.
And Rocky Fresh.
Self-Made Volume 1 was better to me though.
No, Rocky Fresh was on 3.
3?
So Self-Made Volume 2 they have like with Fresh
Yeah,
Montana. They had the song Birds and then This Thing of Ours with Omarion. MIA? Was that on Self-Made Volume 2? MIA.
Yeah.
Fucking around, don't care. That song?
Yeah.
Fucking around, don't care. Oh, change your bracket up now. Put Self-Made Volume 2 in this bracket. That's a great rock.
But it won't get out the first round. It might not get out.
Raw's disrespect is crazy around here. It happens again.
But go ahead, Drew.
Happened again. Wow.
I mean, Brando, I'm like one of the biggest Omarion fans, so I feel you, but
fucking around, don't care.
I don't think the album by MIA is a hit. It's a classic song in my opinion.
Maybach.
Since you've been away, love has been MIA.
Come on, man, y'all sleep. They had these hoes be acting up and y'all niggas be like.
We're talking about the album though, as a whole. I feel like the album.
It ain't make the bracket. It's cool. I'm gonna tell you something.
It didn't make it.
That's one of my favorite albums from that year, easily. Me personally.
So Slaughterhouse, Welcome to Our House was that year.
Joey.
Lupe, Food and Liquor 2, and then Big Crit, Live from Underground was that year as well.
But that was just I was a huge Big Crit fan, but that was like a disappointing album coming off the heels of his mixtape.
Just wanted to give shout him out. So let's get to the bracket though.
Shout out to Slaughterhouse. All right. So round
House
game. So round one, we have
Shut your ass up. Shut your ass up. You get on my damn nerves. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, man.
All right. So round one, we have Good Kid, Mad City versus Pluto.
Pluto.
Huh?
Shout out to. I'm not choosing Pluto, but shout out to Future. I wouldn't say Pluto was a good album. I liked it. I mean, I wouldn't say it's one of his best, but I think Pluto was Pluto was definitely a solid album, but
I didn't listen to it.
It's good, kid. It's good, Kid, Mad City. It's nothing more really needs to be said. But if y'all want to add something, you know,
good Kid, Mad City. Come on now, don't be disrespectful. All right,
Brando, you got anything to add about Pluto?
Yeah, my answer is Pluto. This is the answer to your question.
All right,
dog, you capping. All right, hold on.
Dead serious.
Big cap.
No, I'm dead serious.
Over
I'm
Good
dead
Kid,
serious,
Mad
man.
City?
I'm dead serious.
Okay,
Pluto, easy answer. I didn't think twice about this.
Let's get the Big Cap award, y'all.
No cap, no kizzy. No kizzy.
Pluto over Good Kid, Mad City.
Yeah, and that's not even one of the Future's best. Let me see what's
Time out.
Future's best album is DS2. Future's best album is DS2.
Yeah,
it's up there. Yeah, I'm a huge Future fan now. So
bruh, Good Kid, Mad City is head, shoulders, knees, toes above.
It's arguably a top 10 album of all time. Top 10 rap album.
It is. I agree with all of that. It's a hip hop classic. It's one of Kendrick's best albums. All of that. I get all of that. I'm listening to Pluto every time. Me personally, Future.
Okay, I mean, I know it's your personal choice, but I'm saying we know that the better album is Good Kid, Mad City.
Better. That's subjective. It's still subjective, man.
Huh?
I know it sounds crazy to you guys. I get it. It's still subjective.
Cats are gonna think you doing this for views on the pod. I think you're being dead serious right now.
Those cats will be wrong because I've already acknowledged that I get that Good Kid, Mad City is a hip hop cult classic. I understand that. Like that's
no, it's not a cult classic.
I mean, I should have said cult, just a classic. Yeah, just a all in all out classic. But I feel that people don't. I'm gonna say this: Future and Kendrick Lamar, in our culture, and in music. Let's just say musically. I think they have the same level of relevancy and importance. And what do you hear most when you're out, or when you're around your friends?
Let me know he's done.
What do you hear?
I mean, I get what you're saying. I mean, that argument isn't really.
Let me know he's done, dog. I'm going to sleep, dog.
I understand what you're saying. I mean, that is a fact that, of course, you hear Future more because Future comes out with more music than Kendrick. So but that doesn't really do anything for the argument.
Well, I'm not right. So let me clarify my statement. Let me clarify my statement. I get that hip hop fans, rap aficionados, are going to pick Good Kid, Mad City over Pluto. But the reason I say Pluto is that was the start to something epic. And Future run has been epic. Think about Pluto, okay? Think about Pluto. That was Same Damn Time up there, Magic. Like some of his biggest hits were on Pluto. Am I wrong? Okay. Since then, that has started a whole new wave of not just him, of other artists. You know how many kids Future got? You know how many little Futures there are out here?
He don't raise them. He don't put no. What you mean?
I ain't talking about his real kids, man. No.
What you talking about, dog? We know that. Come on now. We know that. Russell Wilson's raising them.
I'm talking about his people that he influenced.
All right, so we agree 3 versus 1 that Good Kid, Mad City. All right, so next up we have this. I think this is the toughest one of this bracket to me.
This is from the versus battle, dog.
Yeah, God Forgives I Don't, and Based on a True Story. Now, for me personally, I'm going with God Forgives I Don't because I was a huge 50 Cent fan, so I was like hating on Ross. And I just couldn't find myself to even listen to Ross because him and 50 was going through their thing. And I believe that was the album that kind of like crossed me over to actually like respecting Ross as an MC, as an artist. So for me, I'm going with God Forgives I Don't.
Forgives I Don't as well. I mean, I like what Dice Pineapples is on that joint. I think there's another track I rock with on that joint too. So, I mean, it's a pretty solid album. Based on a True Story, though, was a good album, though. It was a really good album. That was 2 Chainz's debut album, wasn't it?
album wise, yeah, like his first main.
Like his,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
That mixtape, boy. That mixtape.
Talking about True Religion.
True Religion.
True Religion. Yeah. True
Nah,
Religion.
they don't know about Drew. You already know where I'm going. You already know where I'm going, boy. That Codeine Cowboy. That's the one. Do your research. If you did listen to Codeine Cowboy, I'm telling you, forget mixtapes. See, people think I'm crazy when I say stuff like this. Codeine Cowboy is a Southern hip hop classic from point A to Z. Trust me. And I to be honest with you, the fact that you guys do like Big Crit and those and artists of that that type of sound, you guys like that, right?
Oh yeah.
Like that Memphis, that Houston, that's not chopped and screw, but that organ, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah,
I think you guys will appreciate Codeine. You two, Jarvis and Jorel. I think you two will appreciate Codeine Cowboy more than any 2 Chainz album. To be honest with you,
dang.
I think you guys really need to go back and listen to Codeine Cowboy, and I think that's his best work.
What year did this drop?
This was about 2010.
10. I was gonna say 2010. I think
it had Spend It. I'm riding around. I'm getting it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of the song that broke him for real, and then set him up to when the real True Religion dropped. He was a big star, but 2 Chainz was bubbling. I was in the 2 Chainz like before he blew up, and Codeine Cowboy was actually that album that really put him on the map. And then by the time he dropped True Religion, he kind of had a little buzz already.
Time out, Drew. You messed up this list.
No. I'm talking about True Religion and mixtape. I'm not talking about.
No. Drew messed up this list. In 2012, Chopper City dropped the Chopper City Season mixtape. That's not on here.
Hey,
bro, if you don't cut the cap, bro, cut the fucking cap. Ain't nobody trying to
hit. Chopper City is underrated. I agree with you, Jarvis.
Let's go.
Chopper City is underrated. Chopper City.
Chopper Young City.
Man. See, look at Jorel, man.
Finally, listeners, yes. Now for Rocco Brando.
If it ain't no rappity rap, Jorel don't want to hear it. I'm sorry,
a hip, a hop, a hippie dippy 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 dippy.
Y'all boys just killing me right now. Y'all killing me.
The boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat.
So Brando and Drew, who y'all got?
What y'all got?
I'm going based on a true story, dog.
Same here. And the only Ross album, the only 2 Chainz album, the only Ross album that would lose to a 2 Chainz album, in my opinion, is this one.
So we got so me and Drew got rock, paper, scissors it to come up with a winner. Ready?
What are we doing? Hold on, what are we doing?
You gotta shoot it.
It's a tie.
Bruh.
You gotta break the tie.
We got to, dog.
It don't matter. They're both gonna lose to Good Kid next round, so it don't matter. So let's just keep them.
So bump them both up.
Yeah, they're both gonna go against Good Kid, and Good Kid gonna win. So it don't really matter who wins.
All right. So next up,
Life is Good.
Life is Good. Dreams and Nightmares. I'm a big Nas fan. I'm telling you right now, Life is Good was that album, bro. Like no question about it. Like Life is Good is a classic to the young Nas fans. Like my little cousins, like they don't even look at Illmatic. I'm like, yo, Life is Good. Like that was that shit. So I'm going with Life is Good.
For me, I'm gonna go Life is Good as well. Dreams and Nightmares was a very good album.
That intro's hard.
That intro is by far one of the most classic songs in hip hop.
It's the top 10 intro of all time.
It's the best intro of all time.
Top 10, top 2.
Yeah,
it might not be 2.
That intro will get you hype for anything, dog. Like you can hear it over and over again to get you hype. But Life is Good was a very solid project. I'm rolling with Nas.
NAS.
I'm going Dreams and Nightmare. Dreams and Nightmares. One like Drew said, that intro is actually a hip hop classic song.
Yeah.
There's no way around that. There's no way around that. We're gonna hear that song for the rest of our lives.
It's undeniable. It's undeniable.
That song and no song on Life is Good reached that type of impact. And not only that, he had other good songs. That was a pretty well.
Bye baby.
All right, Jarvis, come on now. Come on now, dog.
Cut it out, Jarvis. Cut the cap.
But y'all,
These are not answers for me.
you comparing one song to an album though.
No, I didn't finish. But I'm gonna say something. That the fact that that's the intro to the album, it gives it a little more. It gives it a little more power. It does. It gives the it makes it a bigger factor than any other track on an album. You know, and also he had let's begin at the meat. What like that Life is Good was great. We was talking about Khalees and his breakup. That was a Khalees breakup album, right?
No, yeah, but I mean he only had like 2 songs talking about the breakup.
I mean, listen. I expect you to pick Life is Good.
NAS.
Yeah, I think this one is a toss-up between the type of person you are, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a
big Meek fan either.
Yeah, I'm not a big Meek or Nas fan, but we talked about last part, Life is Good is one of my favorite Nas albums, so I'm going with Life is Good. For me, like, I don't know, something about Meek's voice. Even after Drake killed him, like his voice just don't even like after the death, his voice just don't even like resonate the same for me. So me, I'm gonna go.
You're ODing right now. You're ODing right now.
What you mean?
Meek Mill is still arguably one of the hottest artists in the game right now. You're ODing.
It doesn't resonate the same.
Yeah, it does. But
it resonates more. It resonates
better actually.
I'm about to say it resonates more because he was the only artist to come back from.
When he got out of jail, that was kind of a good reboot for him actually. And
championships and wins and losses were platinum.
Championships is a good album.
This dude always bringing up fucking.
I'm just saying you're acting like it. It don't sound.
I said album.
I said for
me.
I
think Wins and Losses is his best album, but that's me though.
I like them both.
Yeah. I said for me, his voice doesn't just resonate. I feel like he's not the same level. That's just me. Okay.
That's your opinion.
I mean, like I feel like it's been quiet for him. Like I mean, that could be he hasn't been putting out music, but I feel like he's
been quiet. Championships got a lot of burn.
Yeah, what you mean?
What year was that? That was what 20? Was that 17?
Last year. It was 2019. No, 2018. It was 18.
There's no way it was last year.
It was the end of 18.
It was the end of 18. Yeah,
it was December.
Yeah, exactly. What you mean?
I just don't feel like I still feel like he hits the same.
I'll put it like this: Meek makes great wintertime music, dog.
Yes. For sure.
I mean, his profile has risen. Like Jarvis was saying, championships not only did well, not like numbers wise, but like it was critically acclaimed. Like people felt that the rapping was good. Yeah, he had a classic song on that one too. That was Free. That's a classic song, and I know Hov stole the show.
That's my favorite Jay-Z verse.
Hov stole the show, but Ross and Meek are kind of underrated on that track. But Hov went. I
don't know. I've never been the biggest.
That boy Hov went buku on that boy.
That Cold-Hearted Part 2 on Championships, bro. That's my shit, bro.
And then Oodles and Noodles, babies. Those are like like that's a good album, man.
Never been a big fan. Not for me.
We get it.
So yeah, we go. Life is Good.
All right. So next up, listen, we have Cruel Summer versus Jesus Piece. This is not even a question for me. Jesus Piece is my favorite Game album. I think that's the best Game album.
Okay, Jarvis. Okay, yeah.
We on par. Game 8 on that album.
Hey, Jesus Piece is tough.
It's tough.
Over Cruel Summer?
Yeah. Jesus Piece is tough, bro. Jesus Piece, top to bottom, is tough.
Yes. People slept on that album, dog.
People slept on Jesus Piece, bro. That shit is tough.
I think to me, it should be a classic to me.
It's in my personal favorite.
My answer to this question would be Jesus Piece as well.
Thank you.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
Jesus. No. Let me tell y'all something. Jarvis and Jorel are very right on this one. Most people that real rap fans swear about Jesus Piece. That shit, it had no misses. Game is one of the most underrated album makers in hip hop. Period. His last album was good. The
Born to Rap.
That was a great album. That was fantastic. Game is a great artist. I mean, great artist. Jesus Piece was great. I love the Ali Boombaye song.
Oh yeah.
Woo! 8 on that joint, boy. 8 on that joint, dog.
Yeah, the Game is very underrated.
That See No Evil joint with him and Kendrick, 8 on that joint.
Yeah, 8.
His speeches were crazy.
Speeches was crazy. Two Chainz even got his lyrical bag on y'all.
And then he did all that when he sampled the D'Angelo joint.
Yep.
And then it had a song with Wayne, that hit song.
That was it. That was Lil Wayne and Fab. They were on that track.
No, it was another one. It was on that same album. It was a whole bunch of like Chris Brown was on the hook.
Oh, Celebration,
yeah.
Bro, like Game did a good, and this is kind of this is a rare talent, dog. Like
I'm picking Jesus Piece, honestly.
Every feature,
easily for me.
Every feature on Jesus Piece, like the Game found a way to get into that artist bag. Like on Scared Now, he got in that Meek bag. On the what's that Pusha T, the Name Me King, he got.
Game been doing that his whole career. That's what he do.
Yeah.
Dude, have you heard?
I've heard enough. I've heard enough of the bullshit. Y'all naming all these fucking mediocre songs. None of these shits are better than Click, Mercy, or Don't Like. None of the songs y'all name are better than any of those.
You're a radio guy, of course, Drew.
Yeah, you're a radio. You love radio.
No, it's nothing about the radio.
It has a lot to do with radio.
That's
heavily influenced by radio. You love Radiohead.
I'm talking about a cohesive album. I don't think Cruel Summer's
as an album, that Jesus Piece is easily the better album. That's an album, man. That was a piece of work. It had the symmetry. It flowed well. It had real classic. Man, you talk about Mercy and
Come on, Drew. Who the fuck dead now?
I'm gonna say something though. I don't like. I do love that. I do love. I don't like.
Ali Boumaier.
None of those songs are better than those three. I'm just gonna believe it at that.
What was that? 2000. Honestly,
that's 12.
That's 2012. Honestly, Cruel Summer might be the beginning of Kanye's fall off a little bit. Because, like, I was expecting Cruel Summer to be, like, a straight-up classic. It felt like it was rushed, and it's piece songs that are already done together. Like,
this is a bunch of singles. It was a
compilation. It's a compilation album.
Yeah, but,
it's not like...
Self-Made 2 was a compilation album, but that shit sounded great.
Yeah, I feel like Kanye.
I love Cruel Summer, so I don't know.
I didn't love Cruel Summer.
Because usually Kanye locks in, they go to like Hawaii, and they lock in, they make that album.
Wyoming.
That's not the big. Pablo was great.
Pablo was nice. I think Pablo is actually Kanye's last good work.
Yeah,
Pablo was great.
Yeah, I love.
That was after that.
I love
Life of Pablo. Yeah,
I think that's his last good album.
Yeah.
Like undeniable.
I felt like that album was great.
What about Jesus Piece, Drew? What about Jesus Piece?
I mean, it was 3 verse 1, so let's move on.
Let's move on.
All right. So next up, we're back at the top. We have Good Kid, Mad City versus 2 albums. So it's a 2-on-1. Good Kid
and still bodies it.
Good Kid versus God Forgives I Don't, and based on a true story, Good Kid, Mad City. There's not much left to add there.
And I expect that. that.
So next up, we have Life is Good versus Jesus Piece. That's tough, dog. I'm a Nas fan, so I'm going. I think the albums are dead even. But if you look at Nas's catalog, Life is Good is talked about up there. If we look at Game's catalog, I don't think Jesus Piece to the masses is looked up.
In Game's particular catalog,
yeah, people go with the documentary. Yeah. And then
I disagree. All right, let me say something
about the masses. I already told you.
No.
I'm talking about favorite Game album.
I mean, the masses. To be honest with you, the masses don't talk about Game for real. So I feel that like rap fans and hip hop fans, Jesus. Every time I hear like a real rap person talking about music, they swear about Jesus Piece, man, and I do too. Like Jesus, like. You probably don't know it. Jesus Piece is held higher by people other than just us 3. We're not the only ones that feel that way, is what I'm trying to let you guys.
But so is Life is Good, though.
Life is Good is the same way. It's a toss-up.
Life is Good, the difference between Jesus Piece and Life is Good, maybe because it's Nas' stature, but Life is Good, if you look back on 2012, Life is Good was a moment. I don't think Jesus Piece was a moment in 2012.
I know, yeah, I agree. It won't big buzz about Jesus Piece.
So I mean, I have to go like that personally.
I'm gonna still go with Jesus Piece.
I'm going with Jesus. I'm going with Jesus Piece as well.
I'll go with Jesus. I'll lean towards Jesus Piece for this one. I mean,
we all know Jarvis at the end of the day, Good Kid, Mad City is gonna win this bracket. So it don't even matter if not Life is Good is out.
Yo, I gotta see what else came out in 2007. Somebody had to drop a crazy mixtape that we ain't listened to. Something. I know it's just albums.
So now we're going with Good Kid, Mad City versus Jesus Piece. Good Kid, Mad City.
We'll say the Good Kid is a top 10 rap album of all time.
Good Kid is the best rap album of all time.
All right, here we go.
You can argue it. You can argue it.
What about Ready to Die?
You can argue. You can argue.
What
Good Kid.
What about Doggy Style?
I'm saying you can argue it.
What about College Dropout?
No, that age like terrible. That age like
Good Kid is better.
College Dropout aged terribly?
Yes.
Good Kid is better than College Dropout. I don't.
So it's wait a minute.
What about the Blueprint?
All we're saying is I'm saying you can argue it. I'm not saying I'm not.
No, Jarvis said it is the best.
It is. To me, it is. I think you can like eliminate every rap album in history. You can start with Good Kid, Mad City. You can start with the album from scratch, and you can build back history of rap.
So Good Kid, Mad City is better than the Blueprint.
Yeah.
I feel Jarvis because it incorporates all
the elements.
What about Get Rich?
It has storytelling. It has
cohesiveness.
So does Blueprint. Blueprint has every.
It doesn't have the cohesiveness of Good Kid, Mad City.
It didn't.
Blueprint don't got no cohesiveness.
And
not like Good Kid.
And Brad, I'm gonna tell you the difference between Blueprint and Good Kid, Mad City. Good Kid, Mad City is a concept album.
Yeah,
exactly. Okay. Yeah, I get. Okay. So is Good Kid, Mad City, head and shoulders above American Gangster, a concept album?
I love American Gangster, but no, it's not close to Good Kid, Mad City. And American Gangster is when I look back at college, it's like my favorite rap album that came out in my college years. Favorite. I know.
Let me ask you this. One more question. This is my last question about Good Kid, Mad City, and this is to harp on Jorel's point. In your car, we won't drive it. Let me just say this. Do you guys you think you enjoy listening to Good Kid, Mad City more than Get Rich or Die Trying?
Hell no.
To me, yes.
In my car?
What? No, just in general. Forget the car. Which album you enjoy more?
Get Rich, Die Trying.
Oh, okay. So Good Rich or Die
what
Trying
about
is better than Good Kid, Mad City then, right?
No, I can separate me liking an album versus me being objective and looking at an album like it's a better overall album. I mean,
I get that. I get that.
I mean, Mace's album by Harlem World's my favorite album of all time, maybe, other than Ready to Die and like Puff Daddy and the Family. But I'm not going to sit there and say that overall it's better than Good Kid, Mad City.
Okay, I can understand that, but the Get Rich or Die Trying album is considered that too. They're in the same category.
A lot of people don't think it aged well. A lot of people I talk to.
I'm telling y'all talking about this age well shit, man. I think stuff not aging well gets thrown around too loosely. I think it's starting to get thrown around too loosely now. Like Get Rich or Die Trying don't age well. That's it.
I don't believe that, but a lot online, I see a lot of people saying that.
Well, a lot of people are wrong. Okay.
A lot of people say that Ready to Die didn't age well. They talk about that on the Joe Budden podcast.
I mean, whatever. Wait, Ready to Die didn't age well? They said that on Joe Budden. They say that.
Nah, they say it all the time.
I think they're talking about another album. You sure it's Ready to Die? All right, we'll move on from that. But all right. Hey, y'all disrespecting Get Rich or Die Trying, by the way. That is a hip hop classic.
It's a classic overall.
Of course, it's a classic.
I think this is what I think the problem is. I think that sometimes we give when somebody's like a little more creative, with the concepts and and things like that, we tend to give them the edge. Song for song.
Because what's that Lupe album? What's that Lupe? His second joint, not Food and Liquor.
Oh, I love that album. I know exactly what you're talking about.
The Cool.
The Cool, yeah. It had on the song with Jill Scott on it. What's that song with Jill Scott on it? I love that.
That album came with. There's a manual to the album as being a concept. And I mean, people don't think that's like
it went over everybody's head.
But that's the thing, like that's the genius of Kendrick, to do it and it to be cohesive and it not go over people's head. Like that, like Good Kid, Mad City is like Menace Society, Boys in the Hood. It's like a visual album. Like we picture everything. It's on that level. Like it's a movie and an album. You can't beat that to me. You can't.
Yeah.
It's like popping in a classic West Coast album. Dog, I only been to LA once, but every time I put on that damn Good Kid, Mad City, I'm taking a trip to LA. I'm taking a trip to Compton, dog. I'll plug them to Compton.
I think this is a disconnect. I'm like, the more I talk to you guys, the more I kind of see the disconnect. Not a disconnect, but the difference of the way we intake the music that we listen to. I think a lot of times you guys listen to music for you're not looking for, but you guys just appreciate the theme and artistics and the creativity behind things, which I do too. Do not get me wrong. As an artist myself, trust me, I do understand that. But I just don't see. I don't think you enjoy song for song. I'm calling you a liar. I don't think you enjoy song for song. The songs on Good Kid, Mad City. Then you do those on Get Rich or Die Trying. There's no way your ears.
I told you that though. I already said that.
You said what?
I said I'd rather listen to Get Rich or Die Trying, but I'm just saying overall, I think Good Kid, Mad City.
No, don't do that. No, then pick Get Rich or Die Trying. Don't do that. Pick the one you like the most. Don't pick the one you think the people like the most.
I'm
pick
objective.
The one you like.
I'm objective.
Jarvis' vote goes to Get Rich or Die Trying.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me.
If you say you like it more, this where your vote go. Don't do what you think the people gonna do.
I could objectively look at the album, but okay, that's better.
I get it.
Like
I get that.
Dog, I like Life is Good. I think Life is Good. I listen to that more. I listen to Good Kid, Mad City, but I recognize that Good Kid, Mad City is a better album.
Yeah. So are we supposed to?
I'm a Portland Trailblazers fan. But I don't say every year, oh, yeah, we're going to the championship. Yeah, we're going – I don't know.
Okay, cut the fucking
yes. So let me ask you a question. To clarify, so I can see us doing this more down in the future, like with other years and other categories. So let me clarify something now so I can know how to answer these questions going forward. So if we're doing a bracket, are we answering it based on what we think the masses would pick as the best answer, or what
I'm thinking about what I think is the better overall album.
What you think is the better album
overall.
All right, let me rephrase my question again.
I think Jarvis and Drew are doing it by the masses. I agree with you, Brando.
All right, and I'm supposed to do it by what you like.
How are we doing it by the masses when we have Flockavelli in the championship on 2010? What are you talking about?
Because Flockavelli was a really good album. It was.
The masses don't respect Flockavelli.
Yeah, they do.
No, they did not. The Trap Boys did. Don't do that. Don't do the Trappers are like the overall.
Yo, man, this is time out, man.
No. You're painting me as like the backpack guy. And backpackers, when Flockavelli dropped, were saying that Waka was killing hip hop, was killing the genre. Do y'all remember that?
Yeah. Yes. So the masses didn't like Flockavelli. What are you talking about?
But the masses aren't backpack people.
Exactly.
You're talking about Flockavelli is a regional classic. It's a southern classic. Yeah.
Oh no. Let me say so. Okay.
Drew, you can say that about AT Aliens. That's a southern classic, but people still recognize it in the community as a classic album. What the fuck are you saying?
That's because it's great. That's because it's great rapping.
Yeah, dude.
What are you talking about?
It's still known as a southern classic. So what the fuck are you talking about?
All right, I'm gonna say this. Flockavelli is not a southern classic. I'm not saying all of that.
But it is. I believe it is.
It's a trap classic. It is.
I don't think that's a classic album. What I think about Flockavelli is it just produced a lot of big hits that were in the prime of our lives personally, us four. That was our college years, No Hands. Hard in the Paint.
Grove Street.
The masses all the
Grove Street. Drew know what time it is.
The masses. The point is that we are not going off the masses because we wouldn't have had Flockavelli in the fucking championship.
No, I think y'all are going off the masses. In Brando's point as to y'all are putting Good Kid, Mad City on a pedestal, even though it is a really good album.
It's a classic.
Listen, hear me out. Because Good Kid, Mad City is in my top 5. Just hear me out.
Exactly. So what are you saying?
Hear the man out.
I'm done.
Hear me out. I think the reason why y'all are saying this is because y'all don't want anybody to kill y'all in the comments section.
I don't care about that.
Yes, you
I
do.
don't think that's what
When have I ever cared about that?
I'm gonna tell you what they're doing. They're basically doing.
Dog, I said Chopper City dropped a classic album in 2012. You gotta give it.
You were definitely playing around. You know,
Jarrell, stop that. Don't you do that.
Listen, you're my dog. But you know damn well Chopper City ain't never dropped no goddamn classic. Cut the fucking cap, Jarvis.
It's a classic in your book, Jarvis. That's what all that means.
Jarrell, you basically were in a car with me every day from 2010 to 2012, rolling around with me and vice versa. Who was I listening to in the car?
You were. I said you were. I gave you your flowers.
What are you talking about?
But you don't really fucking believe that.
If I listen to it every day, I think it's a classic.
But you didn't listen to it every day. You listened to it when you just wanted to get hyped.
That's my point to you. What you just said right there is my point to you. So when we're playing this, when we're doing these brackets from now on, I want you guys to pick the album that you listen to most. I want that to be the basis of our picks.
That's not the bracket we're doing though. We're trying to get what was the best album of the decade
overall.
I mean,
what was the best album of the year?
All right. All right, I get that. I want us to change the way we do that. I want to hear what you guys enjoy the most. That's what I personally want to hear. We know that if that's the case, it's obvious. Of course, it's going to be
because in my opinion,
it's going to be Good Kid, Mad City. Of course, most
even if we did it that way, wouldn't Good Kid, Mad City win this bracket regardless?
Nah, because us three picked Give Rich or Die Trying.
It's not 2012.
It's not in the bracket.
That was 2004.
Yeah, it's not in the bracket. But honor.
Yeah.
But what I will say is that if we're doing it that way, if we're picking like our favorite albums, I would expect Drew to select a Drake album that is better, that he seems better than Good Kid, Mad City. Like I would expect you to pick Nothing Was the Same, or if you're reading this too late, over Good Kid, Mad City. I would expect that from you.
I would, to be honest, the only Drake album I would put above it is Nothing Was the Same.
Not even Take Care?
Nah. I'll put Good Kid, Mad City above
you got
Take Care.
Nothing Was the Same over Take Care.
Yeah.
I do too.
I don't think that's crazy. No, I think those are his like.
I believe that Drake's best
album.
I believe Drake's best album is If You're Reading This Is Too Late. But
I believe that's my top three. My top three, I think we said this last week. Take Care, in no order. Take Care, Nothing Was the Same, If You're Reading This, for me personally. No order. Those are my top three Drake.
All right, so me and Drew, we have a fantasy football draft in about 30 minutes. So let's move on to the what you been on section. How about that? All right. So I'll start us off. What I've been on this weekend, dog. So listening to the Nas album, honestly, it put me on to some of the younger dudes that I've been sleeping on, or I wasn't really quite aware of their catalog. Like Dirk, before his song with Drake and Nas, I really wasn't like up on him like that.
Jarvis, you gotta start getting with the times, man. Get with the times.
Hey, I'm 31, man. You know. But
that is a very young man.
Hey, look, I put Drew on the Dirk back in the day, 500 homicides. Drew.
Yeah, Dirk been nice. Yeah, Dirk nice.
Yeah. So I've been listening to Fabio.
Me too. We're on the same page. That boy Fabio.
They got me hyped, dog. I was in the car listening for 3 hours. 3 hours straight, dog. So my song of the week's gonna be Big Drip by Favi. As far as like what I've been on, like I finished up The Shy, and like Netflix brought like the black shows in, so I've been watching the game, like catching up like on season 1. So I've been in that bag.
Hey, I'm sorry to interject, but that Melanie, you're trash.
Yeah,
There's Melanies in the world.
Yeah,
there's a lot of Melanies in the world, and Derwin gets painted as the bad guy. Melanie, you're a trash lady.
Yeah,
trash. Shout out to the Melanies out there.
We all agree.
Shout out to the Melanies out there, but y'all trash. That's what I've been on. Drew, what you been on, boy? Oh, and I'm also going to be on winning my third championship in me and Drew's fantasy football league. So yeah, go ahead, Drew.
Bullshit. Anyway, so for me, to be honest, I haven't been on much. Like I haven't been watching much TV. To be honest, I've just been like. So for me, of course, we all watch the Joe Budden podcast. I prefer to watch it rather than listening to it. So I usually like wait a couple days and then like be watching it on YouTube. So like that's what I tend to spend most of my time watching is just the Joe Budden podcast. Because shit's just 3 hours long, so that fill up a lot of time. But in terms of music, the classic dropped on Apple Music, No Ceilings. Brought back too many memories, man.
Which one you picking?
Too many memories, bruh. Dog, I'm just gonna say Lil Wayne's the best mixtape rapper of all time. I don't even think it's debatable. But best mixtape rapper of all time. But
Joe Budden has something to say about that. But go ahead.
Those Joe Budden mixtapes are basically albums, though. You know, we call them mixtapes.
50 Cent too. I think 50 Cent has a lot to say about that as well.
50 Cent started the trend. But
What about
Wayne
Fab?
is the best. But go
What
ahead,
about
Drew.
Fab?
Wayne the best. I agree with you, Drew.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Wayne.
Those are all good. You can.
Yeah.
Gucci too. Gucci's a good mixtape rapper too.
And
But I'm
Chopper.
gonna go Lil Wayne. I hope this is a trend that I hope he has the other ones in the works of getting added. That would make my day.
A lot of artists have been doing this. To your point, Drew, this is a trend. A lot of artists have been going back. Drake did it not too long ago when he released
Care Package.
So Far
Care
Gone.
Package.
No, So Far Gone.
Yeah, he did So Far Gone.
Yeah, but Care Package was like was kind of like.
I was talking about releasing old mixtapes and putting them on streams. I thought you meant. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
And Wiz did it with Cushion OJ.
Cushion OJ and all. Hey,
Yeah.
tell her.
That's on Apple?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Let me add that real quick. Go ahead, though.
Yeah, but I hope he has the other ones in the works when it comes Dedication 2, Drought 3, like the classics.
Put them up there.
Put them all up. It'll make my day. But I'm gonna go with Band from TV Joint.
The voice snapped on that.
No, he snapped on every track. He snapped.
The Band from TV. I love that.
But I'm gonna go with Band from TV Joint off No Ceilings. If you haven't listened to it, maybe for the younger audience.
Yeah, the young bulls.
Just go listen to it. It's a display of rapping.
This is a display of bars and bars, yeah.
The Bar Fest.
Bar to death.
Yeah, that's all it is. On fun beats. Bars on fun beats. That's all it is.
But so what I've been on is my fault, Drew. You were done? Did you say?
Yeah, I'm good.
So what I've been on is I've been catching up on Netflix too. So obviously I've been watching the game over the course of the weekend, and I saw Project Power, which was a really good movie. I
told you, dog.
That joint was dope. So for those of you that haven't watched that joint, go check that out because it's really dope. But as far as my song of the week, Harder Than My Demons by Big Sean. It was a new single, another single that he dropped after Deep Reverence. That joint is tough. So,
bruh, this Big Sean album it's showing the signs of something special.
Hey man,
he got a classic on the way. You can tell.
I hope so, man. Because like I was at work arguing with my coworkers, and they were saying Big Sean is not a top tier rapper, bro. I was like, what?
All right. I'm gonna have to save this topic for another day because I think what I'm about to say is gonna get.
Save it for when the album drops.
I'm gonna save. Remind me to say to Brando, you had to remember it, and I'll bring it up next week. I have a question to ask you guys. But go ahead.
Oh no, I'm done. That's it. That's what I've been on.
All right. I'm gonna have to continue the trend right now. That Favi, man.
Favi.
Listen, hey, I like that wedding. It's been on repeat in my car for about a couple months now. I met Lil Mommy at the deli. She was a wedding. Yeah. Brando, sexy. You know what she said? Brando, why you so sexy? I love the song so much. I was replacing Favi name with Brando. She's like, Brando, why you so sexy? I had to do it because it made me feel good. I was in my bag when that come on, Mom. You know, it makes you want to talk to the ladies. It gets you in that gritty. It gets you in that gritty but smooth bag. I love wedding. You know, matter of fact, it makes me want to take a trip to New York soon. I want to experience that New York air. I ain't been in a couple years. So my what you've been on pick is going to be Fabio wedding. As far as what I've been watching, the playoffs did resume. So I was on that. Chris Paul put on a hell of a show. I want to see what happens in Game 7. If Russell Westbrook and James Harden lose to Chris Paul and the OKC Thunder in this playoff series, it's going to look bad for both of those guys. It's going to look very bad for both of those guys. And it's going to prove what the fuck I've been saying about Westbrook for years. So all you motherfuckers that like to call me stupid and yada, 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 every fucking year the same thing happens. Every fucking year. Westbrook, they get to the playoffs and he start wilding out and turning the ball over and being erratic on the court. And people call me stupid because I'm not enamored by the triple doubles because he get a couple more rebounds a game. And I like Russell Westbrook. I have nothing against him, but it's levels. So I was watching that this week, and I'm very interested to see how these playoffs continue in the bubble. So Fabio, NBA, and NBA basketball is what I've been on.
All right. So we end it like this, how we always end it. Whether you're watching us, if you're at work or you off work, we appreciate it. All right?
All right.